This broadcast is on the 5th of the 5th, the date of the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, the second eclipse. We had one a couple of weeks ago. So I've been doing a lot of energy updates on Facebook and to my email list actually in the last week or two because the energy has been shifting and changing so incredibly much. At the moment, what I'm receiving is on the first solar eclipse 2 weeks ago, that was in Aries, at that time and throughout this time, we've wanted to, and even before that, we've wanted to move forward, right? So drastically. We just want to get on with it. We want to be clear-headed. We want everything to fall into place and our dreams and all that stuff and just to feel better. And, you know, we've had all these different moments in between, but what it's showing me is we've had a sore within us. So they're showing me it's like when you have a sore on your knee, like a little wound because you scraped your knee, but then it's quite sore and quite deep, right? Let's say you fell on a sharp rock. And it's a wound that you can't just ignore. You have to put ointments on it. You have to open it up, go deep and clean it all out and look after it, give it some air and space to breathe. Right, and then bandage it and look after it, right, and nurture it back to its healthy skin state, and it will form its crust and heal. And so what's been happening is over much time, like, you know, all your life, if you like to think of it that way, or in the last few weeks, anything in between, you know, we've piled up so much stuff, right? And over the years and over our awakening journey, and as the lights come in more and more, and as we've awakened as souls, we've cleared and cleansed so much so that many of us are just so sick of this never-ending loop, right? However, the difference is the energies are so much different now. Can you feel that difference? They're wanting you to go in deep and see that reservoir of stuff that you have stored. It's like a storage chamber within your heart, within your soul, within your body, within your energy system, in your mind, in your emotions. You know it all. It is all there. And yes, there is stuff that we've buried deep down and not wanted to see. And perhaps we've been brave and even opened up some of those doors to see, you know, and it's needing to be seen. And the difference now is that we can heal it far more rapidly. It is not like it has to be a long ongoing process. It's just to sit and to feel that, yes, I have this deep stuff within me, because at the moment with this scorpionic energy, it's very deep. It makes you feel insensitive. It makes you feel insecure and sensitive and unknowing, and you know there's a deepness. It's like having this pit in your stomach, or deep within you, perhaps a subtle kind of nausea running through your body and your nervous system. And you might not know everything. You might have some things that you know are going on within your family dynamic or your life, or personally within you or out from there. And you might have some hints, you might majorly know, or maybe just a tiny bit. Or there's the unknown, right? Or you feel like, okay, I've already healed quite a bit. I know there's still some stuff in there. I'm not quite sure what it is, or some kind of mixture in between. But the point in all of this is be willing to let it rise up, even if it is those last few remnants, or if it's something deeper than that. Just be willing to open it up like that wound. Even if you just say to yourself, okay, I'm going to sit in this and I'm going to open this up and let it just brew and do its thing. But it's like opening up the pot of all the simmering stew, right? Letting some air in there and giving it a little bit of a mix so that a new perspective can arise. And that's what the light does. It comes into that pot. It breaks up that steam and that simmering where you're just, feeling frustrated, or the energy is just swirling around within you, and however you're receiving that and processing that and sort of and acting out on that, whether you're sort of internally, emotionally brewing or outwardsly having outbursts and, getting triggered and all that stuff. But we're letting some air in and some light into that pot. And as I said, it turns over all your bits of stew, and it helps. They're showing me that stew is like, thick and gloggy, and it can get stuck to the pan, right? To the underground. So we want to pour in some beautiful water, right? And we want to gently mix it. And even though it might feel intense, like the flames being too hot, you want to turn it down so it can simmer gently and allow that water through so it doesn't burn and stick and get more gloggy. And so that way a new vista is able to be seen. So just allow that gentle process to take place. You don't need to sort of command it too much. Just it's a gentle allowing, and allow it to do its work and be present within that process. I always say there's a spectrum, and we all experience it in our own way and in our own time. So where I might be feeling more intense today, maybe you're on the lighter end, and vice versa, right? It doesn't really matter. It's just there are pieces that you can resonate. Take those and work with those. They're showing me it's like threads of a tapestry. You will be drawn to some beautiful colors or what you need, and you use those to weave in and weave out of your own tapestry. And also pull out the weeds, right? They're showing me your tapestry has some weeds in it, like old threads that are worn, and to pull those out consciously. It's like energy work, right? Sometimes when I do energy work for a certain thing, I pull it out like a weed or an old thread, and I release it into the light. And that's what's happening now, and that's the kind of conscious work that you can do, or metaphor, to help you understand. Most of the time when I do these energy updates, I don't know what's going to come out. Sometimes I have words or things, and that sort of gets me going. Like today, I just wrote a couple of words on some post, and then it gets me going. I think, okay, I'm just going to make this recording, even though I don't feel the best today. I don't feel good enough to show up, on video form, right? Definitely. But I thought I just have to say whatever comes out, and it doesn't need to be perfect. So at the moment, you might feel that the energy is heavy, intense, deep, mulling, broody, and brewing, very scorpionic. And perhaps you feel like it's a roller coaster ride, because it has been. So there's been this kind of, I wrote in a post today, which is very interesting. This eclipse is on 5/5. So, those are numbers. Numbers hold energy, and 5/5 is really about a very significant amount of shifts and change and transformation that is literally up and down, like a yo-yo, like waves. And the water analogy is something I've been using in almost all of my recent eclipse energy updates on Facebook and by email, where that's how the energy feels, whether it's a still lake or a big wave or riding in a ship. It's all very literal. And at the moment, so 5/5 is literally a roller coaster ride, and we've had to really adjust and be flexible within it. And that's really a message for you as we sort of move right now into the heart of this lunar eclipse, and we feel the depth of it. And they showed me it's like a portal within a portal. So the portal has been between the first eclipse and this one, and we've been sandwiched within those two eclipses and taken on a ride, and now we're in this portal within a portal of the 5/5 eclipse. It's really quite interesting. So we feel like sort of sucked into this kind of vortex pulling us in. Maybe you've been seeing numbers like 5/5 or 9/11 or whatever numbers for you. So pay attention to those, or 11/11. So I'm going to take you on a journey now of some of the key points of how this energy has been moving in the last couple of weeks. And you might have been on any end of this at any time. So in that sort of middle kind of point, I really was receiving a message of that you feel sandwiched in the middle, or perhaps you feel like you're on the top of the mountain and you have this great clarity, but there's also blankness and the sense of unknown. And in that unknown, where you used to operate like a robot, where you start to go into fight or flight because you're scared of the unknown. And the unknown has been a major theme since COVID times, especially, as well as other times. But that has left people, feeling unknown. It's all an unknown, including the monetary landscape of the world, and how the rug has been pulled from under us, medically, physically, financially. The system's collapsing. It's like we're left kind of feeling naked, and like we don't know, where we're going and what is happening. And we might have these grand visions that just feel blurry, or like you're not sure how it's all going to end up, but that's okay. The message in all of this is it's okay. Let go of anything you've been hanging on to. Just surrender it all. Allow everything to collapse, like collapsing timelines that need to collapse. And then as they refold into new structures. So remain loose and adjusting and hold strong and hold on to your fort, but not in a way where you hold on so tightly you're trying to control everything, right? Just kind of hold on, but let go. That's a bit of an oxymoron, but hopefully you get the gist of what I mean. As well as that, there were times where the energy was spinning very fast. So very, very fast. It doesn't feel like that right now, but there've been other times of that. And I would say it's probably coming up again. And this is where there's been so much fast accelerating energy. It's like everything's spinning. And it's left you feeling very daisy, maybe confused, very ungrounded, very sort of like up in the air, up in the clouds. And again, if you're feeling like there's that fear of the unknown, then you're going to feel that through your energy system as a kind of dizziness as well. And maybe with the Mercury retrograde on top of it, you're missing things, missing appointments and dates, or getting confused, or there's been all that kind of usual Mercury retrograde mishap. But also feeling restless, having like disrupted sleep, that kind of thing, as well as, any kind of physical things, physical pains on your body, whatever that may be. There's a host of other, physical symptoms you can feel, and just sort of exhausted. But then you feel inspired and uplifted, and you have these sudden bursts of joy, and everything feels clear, even if you don't know. And back to what I wanted to say about how we usually go into this robot mode of fight and flight. And then it's like our robotic system is broken down, and that's what's been happening. These forces are kind of disrupting our usual modus operandus, the angels are saying, where we're kind of frozen in a new way, where the robot is now malfunctioning, right? And then that malfunction is allowing old systems to go, old ways of being, your wiring system, your nervous system. Now it needs a reboot, needs a reprogramming. So for a new higher program to be, an update to be put in, and for old things that were lodged to become sort of looser. So it's like all those tight nuts and bolts and all the way that you as a robot operated before is sort of being unscrewed and opened up and paused and stopped and halted and frozen, basically. So now it's like, now what? So now what is that you come out of that old skin, and that robot skin is like your defenses and the walls you put up and the old identity that you had and your old ways of being and doing and what you're fed up with, because you're freaking fed up, right? I feel angry now. I'm like sick of whatever that is, everything that keeps happening, the money and the job stuff and the family stuff and whatever it is, right? And the same old, or the new, more recent stuff that's just aggravating you to the core, the cost of living, whatever it is. And it's like, okay, I'm ready to, it's showing me that so much is actually changing. I have no control. The rug has been pulled under me. So I'm gonna actually, where my old tendency was to put up all my walls and be that robot, going to work every day and in and out, and that's something that we've learned through the COVID times is the dismantling of all those old patterns. But now it's on a newer, higher, different way. And it's like, okay, I'm going to step out of that robot costume. And now I feel, just visualize that right now. You're stepping right out of it. It's frozen like a gladiator costume. It's opened up and you can just step out of it. All right, there you go. And you're in this new, clear, kind of open energy space. that's what's happening. That's what they're wanting you to do and to go there. So hopefully you can use that as a visualization and knowing you are safe in this open new expanse and landscape. And you are not alone. So many of us feel so alone as we go through this stuff and on this journey, especially around others who are not sort of more consciously awakening. And it can be difficult. And you can be around people who are very, very triggered and, in all of this sort of energy and mishaps happening and miscommunications and just people that get triggered themselves or get you all triggered, right? And then it's just this sort of never-ending kind of ricochet of energy. So it's been deeply introspective, a lot of internalization. And if you're a very introverted person, or an empath and all that stuff, you're going to feel it extra. And, it's okay and it's all good. There are, ups and downs in all of this. There was this interesting time in the middle of all of this where it felt literally like you're a boat in the ocean and you realize you're halfway in between where you departed from and your destination. And you're like, oh, friggin' shite. You're like, oh, now I'm right in the middle. I can't go back. I have to keep going forward. Like there's no return. Oh my God, I'm in this unknown middle place. And, that's where all your fears and your anxieties and all that stuff can pop up. But there were core messages that I was receiving about that is, we are safe and the angels are with us. And they actually gave a very beautiful channeled message as well to do with that. That, even though we feel like we're this lost ship bobbing up and down in the waves and just getting tossed here and there and feeling lost and like we're in no man's land, quite literally, that at the end of the day, the helm of the ship is pointing to north, right, to the destination, to where God's light is shining down on it. And we do have angels by our side guiding us all the way. So all we can do is sort of hang on tight but loose and allow that voyage to take place. Having that faith within us, knowing that the lights are on and there's a path being shone and they're guiding our way. So even though this means that my energy update might be a bit long this time, that's okay. I'm going to read you my channeled message from my Eclipse update number 4 that I posted, because this is directly from the angels, and it's really nice to be able to feel that reassurance in the way that the angels talk. They have this kind of poetic language, and it's been a while since I've shared something like this. So I'm just going to read it out to you, and hopefully you can feel that feeling of reassurance and their beautiful light energy that they provide. Your path is lit, dear ones. Rejoice within you at the knowing, at the vision. Though you feel alone at the heart of the sea, we are flying with you. There are many aboard this ship of light. You are not alone. You might have nausea from this voyage and all the ones before, like an idle immigrant between one land and another, cast out to sea. But rest assured, which is a deliberate pun, by the way, spelt like with a S-H-O-R-E, that the shore will soon arrive, and merriment shall grace you with joy, and a line shall be cast when you fall hook, line, and sinker. So be sure of the shore, and that will carry you through the waves and into alignment. Your old train might feel derailed, but a higher track is on the shore of a new vista, a new horizon. Bit by bit, you shall get there, one step and wave at a time. Hang tight, hold on to the ropes, and remember the light to come. For within the heart of your soul, dear one, is a seed that has been planted that reminds you of your true home. In the heart of your hearts is a seed of light, and it reminds you that there is always a light, and the light always, always, always guides you home. It's just a beautiful reminder, and they really show that the light is always there. The angels are always guiding us. We can always talk to them and, communicate them and feel them around us, reassuring us. And they remind us that we are indeed light workers, each in our own way. And there's a beautiful feeling with that. And that also helps reassure us that, we're here for a reason, and we're here to do our work, within ourselves, but also to humanity. And sometimes we just have to hold on tight and, grab our stuff and just kind of get through the ride. And we know that we will, because we know from all the storms before, the angels show me now, all the storms before from this lifetime and all your lifetimes before, all the storms of your life, you've always gotten through. There's always been a tunnel of light and a light at the other end. And a note on that at the end of that tunnel, new tracks, new timelines will be provided. And the angels laugh that there'll be more on that down the track. And they're literally making a pun on that. So further along and on the right timeline, more information will come through. You are not alone, and I'm here for the ride. Till next time, may the light shine on you. And may you then carry that light to others, for you are the light bearer. And I see you on that ship holding your lantern of light and being guided by the way. And now Archangel Uriel with a lantern of light to show that you are being guided by the archangels also there for you, as well as Michael. They're here with you on the journey, and Gabriel for your communications and for the new birthing that will be happening. And they make a pun between the words birth with an I and birth with an E. So as you birth onto the new dock, you will give birth to the new. And they are with you every step of the way. So beautiful souls, that's all I have for now. I send you so much love, and please do write a comment and let me know how you're going and share your experience with me.